Have you ever stood on a platform, seen how close to the edge the train comes, and wondered how the train doesn't accidentally hit the platform? Well, this is down to gauging. So what do we mean when we say gauging? Also known as structure gauging, gauging is the process of assessing the distance or clearance between a train and a structure that is next to the railway to ensure that there is sufficient clearance for the train to pass. Structures can include platforms, signs, signals, and bridges. Also analysed are trains on adjacent lines to ensure that trains can safely pass each other. So why is this important? Gauging is fundamentally important to avoid trains striking structures or each other as they travel along the track. Trains travelling along the track are dynamic. They sway and move in reaction to curves and other track features. The amount of movement depends on the train characteristics, such as suspension stiffness, as well as the weight of load, etc. Gauging is undertaken as part of track design to prove the design is safe and doesn't endanger passengers or trains. The track is also subject to change. The position of the track can move over time. This can be from underlying ground condition, ballast deterioration, or repeated maintenance. This changes the relationship and clearance between the track and the structure over time. Higher risk structures such as platforms or structures with tight clearances therefore need to be monitored on a regular basis to ensure there isn't a risk of trains striking them. So how is this critical activity undertaken? The first part is to gather the dimensions between the running edge of the rail and the structure. Both the horizontal and vertical dimensions are required. These dimensions can be gathered using a number of different methods, including laser sweeps, specially designed gauges, or tape measures. Something to always bear in mind is the accuracy of each of these methods. In the UK, this is factored in via the tolerances applied. The more accurate methods, such as laser sweep, have a lower tolerance than the less accurate, such as tape measures. These dimensions can then be plotted in special software, showing the distance between the structure and the rail. The software then runs this against a library of what is known as swept profiles or volumes. Remember earlier in the video I said that trains are dynamic, swaying as they move, with the amount of sway dependent on a number of characteristics? Well, a swept volume represents the maximum movement in all directions a specific type of train could achieve. This means it is the maximum space that the train could occupy at any time. This is then compared to the structure, with the shortest distance between the two giving the clearance value. It's important to understand all the types of train that can travel on the line, as each will have its own dimensions and characteristics that will alter its swept volume. This leads to each train type having its own swept volume. All the different swept volumes need to be analysed, a perfect task for a computer. Platforms hold a unique place on the railway. They are the area designed for passengers and trains to interact. They should allow passengers to easily and quickly board or leave trains, while also allowing trains that are not stopping to pass through unobstructed. In addition to clearance, at platforms, the distance passengers have to step is also analysed. This is in terms of how far they have to step, both horizontally and vertically. This is important to ensure that passengers don't have a large gap to navigate that they could potentially fall down. The step height also ensures that less mobile people, such as those with disabilities or the elderly, can also board trains. During renewal works, the stepping distance can be altered by moving coper stones that form the platform edge or tweaking the track design. So I hope you enjoyed this quick introduction to gauging, and it gives you an idea of the importance of this critical activity. For more on track engineering and all things railway, please do tune into the channel, The P-Way Engineer, hit that subscribe button, or drop a comment below. Thank you.